we should all be, I think, a proponent of making our athletes safer, making our children safer. I think it's obviously very close to your heart. I think everybody probably knows someone who suffered a concussion at some point, has had some type of a brain related injury. And I think this is, we're hopefully taking those next steps in developing something that's going to be really, crucial in helping us, change this game. So obviously, it's draft week. I told you I had to give you one draft question. A little bit about quarterbacking, I'd say, at least a little bit. So I think we got to get you to talk about this quarterback class, because I cannot remember a time recently where there was so much leaked so early about how many quarterbacks were going to go. And it was almost in such a definitive manner, right? It's just, this is how it's going to be. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, right? And I'm going, okay, we're a month out, we're 3 weeks out. It just feels a little early, Kurt. I'm like, I think there's a lot of smoke screens here. So put your, GM cap on. If you're making these picks, who are your guys here, these quarterbacks? Because there's a lot of talented ones.
There are, but I don't know why you're surprised, Paige, because to me, at this time of year, it is all about the quarterback. Right? If you don't have one, you don't have a chance. That's really what our league has become. And so you got to have a game changer at that position. And we see it every year, right? You think that, okay, maybe one's going to go, and then all of a sudden we get closer and we get closer, and this team's popping up there and this team's popping up there, and we're getting trades up because everybody needs that guy. And so the beautiful thing about this year is we've got 5 guys that have a chance to be really, really good players. And the other interesting thing about this year is a lot of it can come down to what's your flavor. Like, What do you like? Because all of them have some things they do well, and all of them maybe have some red flags or some questions about what they're going to be at the next level. So that makes it even more interesting. Is like, and again, I think we all know that the Jets are probably going to go with Zach Wilson, even though there's a lot of questions there. I said, really 2 through 4 in my list. You could interchange them depending on what you're looking for and what you like, but we think they're going to go Zach Wilson. And then, the big question becomes San Francisco. And I could see them go with any of the other 3. You got Mac Jones, that obviously he's good at what he does. He's very good. Everybody thinks he fits into the system of Kyle Shanahan. I can buy that. He played the game very much like me. So I'm all into, hey, a guy that can process and see the game. Let's do it. He can play and be successful. And then you have a guy like Trey Lance that you may say, hey, we got Jimmy G. Let's go Trey Lance. He probably has the most work to do, but he may have the most upside too when you look at him physically and mentally, and the fact that he's only played 17 games at that level. You're sitting here going, okay, maybe he's going to be the best of all of it. And then you have Justin Fields, which I'm still trying to figure out why everybody seems to be souring on Justin Fields.
Me too.
All he did was ball out for 2 years at one of the biggest programs in the country, was as productive as anybody. He's got the skill set, across the board. If you want an athlete, if you want a passer, he can do both of those things. And so, man, he may be the best of all 3 of them. He may be the most complete that we've seen, has the best resume of all 3 of them. And so that's where it gets fun. We're going to know as soon as San Francisco, that name is called for San Francisco, we're going to know why they picked that guy, what they were looking at to choose that guy. The problem is, I don't know what that is right now. We hear lots of speculation, but I don't know. They made a huge move to go up to number 3 when they had a quarterback that took them to a Super Bowl. So what is the reason behind that? Is it because Jimmy G can't stay healthy? So maybe we're trying to get another guy like Jimmy G. Or is it because we want more than Jimmy G? We want an athlete. We want a guy that can bring more to the table, and then maybe Fields and Lance come into play. So I'm intrigued there. And then, as you said, I'm intrigued beyond that as well. With San Francisco jumping all the way up to 3 to get that number 3 guy, we got some other teams out there, that are sitting there going, okay, does New England, they make a fun trade in the first round to go get a quarterback. Washington, we know that they want to do something. Denver, they're always looking for a quarterback. Seems like they're not solidified. Wouldn't be surprised if John Elway and company go up and get it. So that's what makes it so much fun, is that, everybody wants one of these guys. There's a number of teams that still need them every single year. And it's the whole crapshoot, right? I just heard a stat that there was like a bunch of number 1 quarterbacks from 2009 to 2016, and none of them are still with their current team. And we've only got like 4 since 2017 that are still with their current team. So it is such a crapshoot up at the top. I see, things about all these guys that I say, I could see this guy being really good at the next level. And we know, not that I want to wish that upon anybody, but we know a couple of these guys probably won't be successful. Oh, yeah. Who's it going to be? And are we picking the right guy? And new coaches having to connect to quarterbacks. But to me, that's where it's, there's a lot of great players in the draft. But because I love quarterbacks, because the quarterback-driven league, we know that Thursday night is all about the quarterbacks. Who's going to get them? Who's going to be left on the altar, not getting one when they need one? Because that determines everything in our league.
I love the way you said it. What's your flavor, right? I think I'm going to start using that because that's kind of what it is, right? You could kind of talk yourself into whichever flavor you like. You might want chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream, or you want strawberry ice cream. I could pretty much talk myself into any of those guys.